In today's episode, we're going to talk contracts and how you can spot a bad one when it comes across your email. Today's shout out goes to a very special person and a producer who's following me and followed me and have followed me and I worked with and continue to work with, who is a dope producer who continues to put out work. And matter of fact, his key phrase is, let's work. This week's producer is RD Music, and you can find him on Twitter and Instagram under RD Music. Hey, let him know SG1 sent you. Peace. Peace and blessings, guys. My name is SG1 from the Grammy Award-winning team, The Peacemakers, and today we're going to delve into contracts. Now, the reason why we're going to talk about contracts is because contracts are the heart of the music industry. I mean, literally, I said are the heart, is the heart of the music industry. And it's one of the most important aspects of the music business that a lot of producers, artists, and anyone actually get caught up and get confused, and it's where a lot of money is either made or lost because of the lack of understanding of contracts. Now, contracts are not as just straightforward and as simple as people like to think. Most people see contracts as a way to be beneficial to them and solely beneficial to them. So if you're one of those people who think that a contract should basically outline all of the positives and benefits for you and not the record label or the person that you are going into an agreement with or you're doing a business transaction deal with, please immediately get that out your mind. That is further from the truth than can ever be. You got to realize that contracts are designed to be mutually beneficial for both parties. And it also is determined based on what you're part of inside of the contract or what you're providing and what the other party's providing. That's how a basic and a simplistic contract should read. I am doing XYZ as said artist, as said record label, as said producer. My percentage should be XYZ. Your percentage will be XYZ for becoming or doing or distributing or publishing. And really that is the key to contracts as a whole in the music industry. And that's the basic example that I'm giving. Of course, contracts can become much more complex and delve deeper into a lot of different things, including your mechanical rights, sync rights, royalties, master rights, merchandise, and a whole bunch of other things now that have come into play in the 2000s. And one of those things we want to talk about, of course, is 360 deals, which is a typical deal now being given to many artists and producers, where the record label now has found a new way to be able to monetize off of their supposed effort to actually get you out there, or a distribution deal. And 360 is one of those deals that isn't really, it's become one of those deals that a lot of artists, especially mainstream and major artists, don't really like to rock with. However, the reason why we're having this conversation is because several of you guys have contacted me via email about some contracts that you were a little questionable about. And so what we want to do is I'm going to go through some of these emails, or at least two of these emails that were sent to me. We're going to, of course, blur the name and the email out of the person who sent them to me. But I think this is pivotal to you as you're watching, because if you run across a deal or a situation like this, or if you are in question of a particular deal like what I'm going to be providing to you in these examples, that you at least have an outline or some small understanding of how it could be possibly beneficial or not beneficial at all to you. So let's go right in. The first email that came to me from a female artist named Victoria, and we're just going to leave it like that. However, I'm going to read the email to you, and then I'm going to outline certain things that she said. Now, I was not made, or shall I say, a contract was not sent to me or made available to me to look over and to read, but just based on the pretense and the verbiage that she used, I can pretty much outline whether or not what she is saying is beneficial or non-beneficial to her. All right, so here we go. So in this particular email, as you see, it is titled Music Scam. And she says, "Hi, Machine Master." And I'm pretty sure she said that because she's seen me in a previous episode of Machine Masters. "Hi, Machine Master. I saw your video on YouTube video, and I have a doubt. And I wanted to share with you this story. Hopefully you can clarify. I guess she's trying to say, hopefully you can clarify and clear the air for me. Much appreciated, and any advice are welcome." Now, I'm going to firstly assume that this particular person is of a foreign background because of how she is wording her sentence, and what she's trying to say to me is not really as straightforward as the English dialect is. So we're going to assume that she's not from a direct English background, or she may be from another country. So she goes on to say, so I signed an agreement with a management company recently. They charged me $5,000 a beat. Now, first and foremost, here's the first thing that we should notice. She says that I signed an agreement with a management company. Okay, and now if it's a management company is just that. They are supposed to be managing her business. They are managers of her business, which means, yes, they can go and find producers and artists and writers that she may need as a manager. However, what she says here, which makes it confusing, is they charge me $5,000 a beat. Now, that instantly right there says she signed an agreement with a management company, and or whose management company did she sign an agreement with to purchase music at $5,000 a track? That's a question that I have to have and ask, and I really am unclear to the terms of this agreement based on it being a management company and she's purchasing tracks from a management company. That part doesn't make sense. She says, I end up doing 2 songs. I decided to work with them in good faith because I trusted them since they were working with one of my mutual friends. I really loved the song, accepted their business model, I guess is what she's trying to say. So the thing that makes me question again is that she decided to work with them in good faith. But if there's a contract in place, it is not in good faith. You have a contract in place, and the terms of that contract will be determined about how you go about doing your business. So that right there also red flags me and makes me question, and it also, let me tell you something, guys, it also shows how much an attorney is needed. This right here, just the first couple of sentences have already given me red flags and makes me question the validity of whatever deals she might have already made with this particular company, because again, it's not clear. It's already a conflicting statements being made within the first 2 sentences. However, we'll go. So we have had some issues lately because they've been taking forever to deliver my music. My main concern is this. We got together to do the track. The producer came up with the beat and the melody to the song. They hired someone to write lyrics, but I also co-wrote, meaning I gave some ideas and lyrics and helped produce. So she's saying that at this moment in this particular email, someone was contracted to produce the beat and he came up with the melody, and then they also contracted a songwriter to actually write the song. However, she has co-written, or actually she didn't co-write, she said that she came up with some ideas and lyrics and helped produce. So now, to be very clear, she's admitting that the producer produced the beat, he came up with the melody, and she's also admitting that there was a writer that wrote the song. However, she's participated in the songwriting aspect of it. And when you say participation does not have to be full-fledged. You write a complete sentence or write, a bridge or a complete hook or whatever it is. Songwriting is any participation that you've taken in the song at all. And it could be as minute as coming up with a couple of lines in the song or changing the way that the song was going. So she is correct that she is considered now a co-writer. In the contract, it doesn't state my percentage. Again, without having the contract available to view, it's hard to say what her percentage should be. However, this is easily rectified by creating a split sheet. There should be a split sheet administered at some point in time before the song is published or released. Please implement a split sheet, because a split sheet acts as a contract as well. So that split sheet basically says these are the percentages that will be outlined to all those that were involved in this particular project. She goes on to say, I did sign the contract for the one song, so it was my mistake to not hire a lawyer. Great, good girl, I'm glad you caught that. They said I own the master, but we will be splitting the partnership percentages. Now, let's stop right here, because now what we're getting into is hearsay and what she's saying to me. Now, again, this is not, and I'm not acting as an attorney at all. What I'm giving you is my understanding of what she is saying. But based on what she's expressing is that, and this is, again, hearsay, that she is the rightful owner of the song. And how she can validate this is because she has purchased the song. She is basically doing a work for hire here. But again, without looking at the management contract to understand where or what she signed and what agreement she signed, it's really hard to understand or identify anything that she might have agreed upon. And this becomes even harder to be able to advise her on, because I don't have all of the pertinent facts that I would need to really tell her what route she's going. But given the information that she has given me, which is saying that she owns the masters, they will be splitting the partnership percentage. And again, that partnership percentages is crazy because she's using the word partnership, which is basically like when you're creating a business or corporation, instead of saying writer's percentage or royalties. And she says, meaning we will all get 33%. My concern is I put down a total of 10,000 and I'm getting only 33% back. And if I want to continue with them, the marketing is not included in the 10,000. They do promise concerts and shows. What are your thoughts? Again, this is a very hard email to really advise her on. But just given the fact that without having any of the information, without having no contract, when I say any information, without having any of the contract verbiage in front of me, I can say a 33% split is great. Now, if you're looking at your $10,000 investment as just that, you have to understand, as an independent artist, this is your business. Again, you are putting up that $10,000, all right, as an investment. You are purchasing and paying for producers to produce your music. You're purchasing and paying for that particular writer to come in, and you're purchasing their services and goods. That's how you have to look at that. However, even because you're purchasing this music and or these lyrics from these people, unless you have a work for hire in place, they are entitled to their performing rights royalties. And it's real simple. The fact that they have said that she owns the masters, according to her in his email, and that she's going to be getting 33% is a great deal, because again, we don't know how much she actually participated in the creation of the music itself. Well, obviously she didn't participate in the beat making at all. However, we don't know what she played and how much she put forth in the lyrics and the content and the writing. All right, so 33%. And the producer's basically giving up a portion of his production agreement or production royalties by doing this. Because when he says everyone will be getting 33%, that means he's also giving up his producer fee or producer royalties, which he's entitled to 50% automatically. So that means from the production standpoint of it, he is giving up a portion of his money, and he's actually giving up a fairly large chunk of his percentages, because he's basically allotting, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around the avenue of possibly 27% of the 50% that he would be entitled to. And that's a large portion of royalties, okay? But the fact that he's giving that up and she's getting 33% of that, if she understands what that actually means that if she does her job, that she will be getting a very large fair share of the performing rights royalties of that song when it's released, inclusive to the fact that she owns the master rights to the music, which means commercialization, which means TV and sync placements. She has complete control over that when she has that master rights. Now, again, if that was a work for hire situation, be a much different conversation and story. However, with this particular situation, she's actually coming out on top. Now, you've reached the end of this particular Let's Analyze a Contract, and I like to hear from you. Simply do this. Simply click on the iCard above and tell me, do you think that her particular situation is a good or bad one, by clicking yes or no in the iCard in the corner that just popped out. And if you'd like to add to anything, or if you want to give your opinion based on what we've read and saw in this particular episode, please leave it in the comment section below. Tell me what you think her options are, what she should have done differently, or what you would have done to make sure that you have maximized your potential to have a great relationship with these producers. All right, this is your man SG1 from the Grammy Award-winning team, The Peacemakers. And if you haven't already, guys, make sure you subscribe and click the bell notification to be notified when we put out new video like this. You're not going to want to miss these type of videos, because I'm going to help you become a better producer, a better music business person, by going through these contracts and letting you guys evaluate them and seeing them the way I do. Peace and blessings, and always remember, guys, music is life. We out. You want to join a group that you are passionate about, that you have knowledge on, that you are informed about, and that you're going to be passionate about speaking on whatever it is that group is talking about. So if it's production, then talk about music production. If it's engineering, then talk about or join an engineering group. But what you want to do is you want to greaten your opportunities to find more potential clients by not joining just the little small groups, but joining the larger groups that have 22,000 or 10,000 or 50,000 particular members.